What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Tells It How It Is Muno, aka UFC's realest critic. First off, I want to talk about Diaz and Ferguson, but just a lot of things happened that I did not expect. Johnny Walker with that choke, Nate winning and giving the finger to the UFC. But the main thing is I caught on to something with this Chimaev versus Kevin Holland fight. I don't know if people caught on to it. I haven't seen it around the internet, so nobody, I don't think, really did catch on to it. But there is some fishy shit that went on, and this guy did not just not make weight for no reason, and I will prove it to you guys, and I'll get into that later, a little later in the video. But first, I want to hop into Diaz versus Ferguson. Oh boy, my man Nate Diaz, he did it. I don't give a shit who he fought. Bottom line, it was his last fight with the UFC, and Dana White wanted to give him assassination. That's why he was gonna fight Chimaev. He won his fight, bottom line, and was able to give the UFC the middle finger and walk away now with a W. And his record, his reputation is still the same, and that's what Dana White wanted to ruin, was his reputation before he left the UFC. Now we can go on and do things like fight Jake Paul in boxing for quadruple the money, or possibly come back and do a Conor trilogy if Dana pays enough. These are all things that he would not been able to do if he would have lost. Now, with that being said, I do have to call it how I see it, because I am the realest critic. I do feel like Nate and Tony were not at their best. I feel like, they were definitely not at their best. But with that being said, both of these guys are getting older. They are at the end of their career. And I kind of feel like they went up to each other possibly before the fight and, said, hey, we're going to give them a show. We're going to bang. May the best man win. And nobody got hurt. I did see Nate messing around a little bit, and that was confusing me at first, leaning up against the post and things like that. But then I started to realize Tony Ferguson was tearing up Nate Diaz's legs really bad. And Tony split open his shin on Nate's right in the beginning. But I promise you, today, Diaz's legs are hurting a lot worse than Tony's probably, because Tony definitely tore up those legs. But bottom line, it was a good fight, and Nate won, and he got the finish with a submission, and he won with his signature move, which I absolutely love, because it's just like such a gangster thing to do, pretty much expressing to the crowd before the fight's over, like, the fight's over, I won, before the ref even takes him off and tells him it's over. Now I want to get into the Chimaev Kevin Holland fight. I have to say now, Chimaev proved he is an absolute beast. This guy is a monster, and he's eating up everybody. He straight won with pure dominance. And on top of that, this guy, he wasn't even hit his first 3 UFC fights, and that doesn't happen. That's absolutely unheard of, not to get hit, not one strike on your opponent in 3 UFC fights. That says something. And for him to come in and dominate Kevin Holland like that, it shows something. And I kind of knew that, Chimaev was going to win that fight, but I honestly thought that Kevin Holland, was at least going to, go 2 rounds with him and not make himself look like a fool. But that's not what happened. He straight up dominated him, went in, shot for the takedown, wrestled a little bit, Darce choke, done, finished. Now, I want to get into something real big that I caught on to that I don't see anybody else talking about, and that is this whole shit show of a weekend, how the fighters were all switched last minute, and mostly how Chimaev did not make weight, and not making weight over 7 pounds, which is absolutely massive. Now, it just doesn't make sense to me how Chimaev didn't make weight. Like, here you are, one of the biggest talked about fighters in your division, and you don't make weight? And on top of that, you're 7 pounds overweight? No, guys, I'm telling you right now, there is more to this, and I will prove it to you, because Chimaev actually slipped up and told us the truth without even knowing he did it. And the rest of the world didn't catch on because Chimaev doesn't speak that great of English, and he screams and he's just all amped up because his job is to just go in there and fight. Now, let me ask you guys a quick question, and everybody please comment below and give me your opinion. What do you think would have sold more pay-per-views? Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson, or Nate Diaz versus Chimaev, the most talked about and biggest upcoming fighter in the welterweight division? I promise you guys there's a lot more to this, and this fight was premeditated in my opinion, and I will prove it to you in my next video. There's a part 2 to this video. Come check it out. It's going to blow your mind because Chimaev blew up Dana White in the UFC spot without even knowing it. It's your boy, The Realest Critic. Come to part 2. Favorite, comment below. We out of here.